Last year, I made a video talking about what my goals were for 2024, and at the end of the year, ended up reviewing how I did on them. I think this is an excellent way to help keep myself accountable towards working towards my goals, so I figured that I would do it once again. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tyler Warlow, and I make videos on things I wish I knew when I was younger. All these videos focus around how to improve your life through your confidence, capabilities, and overall happiness. For those of you who don't know, I make my videos and my goals centered around 6 key areas that I think are useful to focus on to improve your life. Those 6 areas are your personal finances, your confidence and presentation, your mental and physical health, your career, your overall goals, and continued learning. Now, this video in and of itself is related to goals, so we won't be covering that much in this video. My hope for this is to make videos throughout the year talking about how I'm doing on my goals to help with the accountability aspect of this. But if this sounds interesting to y'all, let's go ahead and jump into the video. This year, my wife and I have a few different personal finance goals in mind. First off, we think that we need to re-establish our budget. We made a budget a little bit ago, but it's been a while since we've been using that consistently, and I think honestly that our budget has recently changed given changes in our salary and other factors. That's going to be our first personal finance goal and really probably the easiest of them. Next up, we want to save about 50% of what's going to be needed for a house, and with the area that we live in, it's going to be about $40,000. So that's going to be a pretty substantial task that we're going to have to make little checkpoints and goals and really follow our budget to be able to successfully achieve. And finally, we want to be able to save enough money beyond what I just mentioned to be able to take 2 nice vacations this year. We know that we want to potentially go to Japan, and we were considering going out to Yellowstone. But that's obviously going to take some extra income, and we need to be able to set that aside. So that's going to be one of our goals for this year because we want to be able to take more time to travel and enjoy ourselves. Next up, let's go ahead and dive into the mental and physical health goals. The first goal that I want to focus on is one that I actually failed last year, and that's going to be getting my cardio up to about 150 minutes per week, as this is what is recommended by the American Heart Association. This was something that I made pretty substantial progress on last year. I got up to about an hour and a half of total cardio, but then I got sick and got some injuries and unfortunately fell off the wagon pretty severely. I did notice substantial improvements in how I felt when I did do my cardio. I actually saw faster recovery in between my sets of weightlifting. So I really do think it's a beneficial thing. It's just not easy for me to do. And therefore, if something happens, I tend to fall off pretty easily. So I want to work on getting that back up to where it was. But I think I'm going to take it a little bit slower because I started pretty late last year. We were into Q2 before I started, and as a result, I started trying to ramp things up fairly quickly. And I think that's what partially led to some of my injuries, was I was trying to go way too fast for what my body was capable of doing. So this year, I want to get up to that 150 minutes of total cardio by the end of the year, and I want to do it on a slow ramp up. Next up are my weightlifting goals. These are pretty basic. I just want to get my bench to about 200, my squat to 300, and my deadlift to 400. I think these are all feasible goals based on where I am now and the progress that I see when I am consistent with my workouts. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to hit these goals by the end of the year. And finally, I want to make sure that I'm hitting my protein goals consistently about 90 days in a row. This is where I struggle the most and why I think I most commonly see some stagnations in my strength gains at the gym, is because I'm really not careful about making sure that I'm hitting the macros that I need to hit. And because I am 6'3" and work out a fairly decent amount, I do have to eat a lot more than most people do, and I naturally just don't have that high of an appetite. So I don't consistently hit my protein, and it fairly often, in my opinion, creates this issue where I keep plateauing until I start tracking my protein again. So that's something that I want to do consistently for 90 days, as that's something that I've never actually done and tracked for that long. Next up, we got the confidence and self-presentation. I feel like I've improved a pretty large amount over the years in terms of how I'm doing with this. And I'm pretty happy with my appearance and how I present myself to others. So I just want to continue working on the goal that I had last year, where I introduced myself to one new person a week, because that's somewhere where I feel like I still have a little bit of struggle. In my opinion, I struggle to feel confident enough to go up and talk to strangers and be able to maintain a conversation. And that's something that I want to work on. I've already been working on that a little bit this year, and I have been noticing some improvements in how easy it is for me to go up to someone and start talking to them. I think I still need to work a little bit on the conversation piece, but I'm already seeing improvements, and I just want to continue working on that goal. Next up in my career, I want to work with my manager to establish a path forward and some action items that I need to do in order to reach the next level. I don't know the timeline that it would take to get to that next level, but what I do care about is establishing some sort of path for me to work on so I can start heading down that direction. That way I can know where I might be lacking on skills or where I need improvement and start actually working on those areas, so that way I can reach that goal that much faster. Next up, this is where I've got the most goals in my opinion, and it's going to be the personal learning aspect. First off, I paid for a course in how to do YouTube a while ago at this point, and I did one video on the whole thing in my opinion. And so I want to complete that course. I want to go through the course and actually complete it and make it worth the money that I put into it. Next up, I want to continue to learn how to improve my editing skills, because I feel like I haven't put a lot of effort into that side of these videos, into learning editing and making the videos a little bit more interesting from that standpoint. And I think that taking the time to sit down and learn those editing skills would really help improve the video quality and just make it so it's easier to connect with you guys. Next up, this is kind of related to my career. It's going to be taking an automation course. I've always been interested in learning the automation aspect of manufacturing, to the point where my first job was a year in automation, and I took a course at that time. And I would like to continue my education and continue to work on the automation aspects. There's so many different ways to get involved in automation that I'm really interested in taking anything that can go along with that, whether that's higher level processing or more at the local equipment level. But I just want to take another course, continue to learn more, and build my skill set there, because I think it would also be beneficial in terms of my career. Finally, last year I began the process of becoming a notary signing agent. I officially, at this point, only need to take my oath to become a public notary, but that's not the end point to becoming a notary signing agent. I still have to take another course in order to get certified and make that something that people are more willing to sign me up to do. This was a process that I started back in November, and it's been taking me a while due to various things such as the holidays and also just the time that I've needed to spend at work. But I would like to finish that process, wrap it up, so that I could potentially use that as a way of generating some extra income on the side through a flexible process. Finally, since this overall video is about goals, I figured that I would talk about two different personal goals that I have. First off, I've been struggling to get ahead on YouTube videos, and that's been something that has been a little bit of a detriment to my personal life sometimes when I'm on holidays or visiting friends for important things like weddings. It makes it so I have to worry about making/editing a video on that same week that I'm already doing something that's really important, where I should be focusing on being present with those people in my life. So one big personal goal that I have is I want to get 4 YouTube videos posted ahead of time prior to the end of Q1. I think the issue that I had last year was I never really set myself a good deadline, and so never really pushed on getting it done until the year was over. I didn't have any more time to do it, and I had already put myself in the position that I didn't want to be in multiple times. The next personal goal that I would like to pursue is if I can get those 4 YouTube videos ahead, by the end of Q2, I want to also be posting at least 1 short per week. I think this would help establish the growth of my channel a lot and just help get my videos and my ideas out there a little bit more easily if I can put out some more content in the format that more people are consuming nowadays. But that's going to bring us to the end of the video, y'all. I know that this was a little bit of a different video where I wasn't really informing y'all of stuff and I was more talking from a personal standpoint, but I hope that y'all found the video to maybe be inspiring and give you some ideas for your own goals. If you found the video to be helpful or informative at all, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to join me along in the self-improvement journey. If you have any of your own thoughts, ideas, or opinions, please be sure to let me know with a comment down below. I like to read and respond to each and every one of them. If you're interested in more videos like this one where I talk about goal-related topics, be sure to check out this video right here where I reviewed how I did on my goals in 2024. If you're interested in more of my most recent stuff, be sure to check out this video right here. But until the next time, this is Tyler Warlow, signing off.